Hello, everyone. You're joining us for the first Q&A Q&A session with Keadar, where we are going to be discussing dreams. And this is actually a special session because this is the one and only that we are going to do free of charge because you're doing this mini course with us. But further down the line, it will be sort of a monthly thing where we're going to have different subjects and topics that we're going to discuss. So Keadar, if you want to tell us a little bit more about that, of how it's going to work.
Yes, thank you so much for the introduction, and thank you everyone for joining. It's exciting, and I really love dreams. I really love dreams. Christina probably knows that I see a lot of crazy dreams, and I keep track of them. So for today, it's a Q&A session, and you are allowed to ask me questions about your dreams, how to interpret your dreams, or even about anything relating to dreams, actually, although I'm more into the dream interpretation itself. And what we plan to do with the monthly meeting is we're going to have different topics. Like, for example, we're going to go through various dream symbols, and we'll start with I think we'll start with something that people would commonly see in the dreams at some point in life, like water element. I'm sure everyone has seen a dream with water or involving water. And then there will be some other dream symbols too. I try to select the most common ones first, and we'll go through those symbols and their meanings. And then there will also be Q&A session so that you can ask and we can discuss the dreams, and I will help you to interpret the dreams the best I can. And I'm hoping that at some point we'll also get to talk about lucid dreaming, even though it's kind of off the interpretation topic, but it's still part of the dream world. And I think a lot of people will find this really interesting because there's not only one plane. There's just several planes out there, astral planes, and even though you're sleeping, you might end up somewhere else. And it will be useful for people to understand too, because sometimes you have weird experiences and you feel like it didn't feel like a dream, but you don't know how to describe them, and you don't have a lot of people to turn to. So I was hoping to bring these topics to the light, discuss them, and help you interpret them. Because for me personally, I've always seen a lot of dreams, and I remember a lot of my dreams. And since I was young, I would talk to someone. First, of course, it was my parents, because we're pretty open about dream discussion in the family. But still, they would base their understanding and the meanings of the dreams on the cultural symbols. And sometimes I didn't quite resonate. And so I ended up having to find out on my own, and I have to keep track of my dreams and see where they, what they actually mean. And the meaning can also change because as you grow as a person, as a soul, your understanding shifts. So your subconscious mind also uses that, for you. So if things have changed, and the meaning of the dreams can change with your growth as well. It's fascinating.
It is. No, thank you so much for that. I absolutely agree with you. And it is good to start with like more general subjects, like, as soon as you said water, I was like, oh my God, I can remember so many dreams with seeing water in all the different, sort of scenarios, interpretations, that it would definitely be something that we should discuss. Definitely.
Yes, and even the water itself, it can come in so many different forms. You can see just, the shower, beach, snow, ice, storm. There's so many ways that water shows up in the dream.
And we actually have a question about that. already
Oh,
today about water. So
yay!
yes, we will get to that in a second. But
Great.
if we want to, like, for this session today, we're not going to stick to a particular subject. So whatever
That's
you have,
right.
if you have any dreams that bother you, as we said in one of our posts, like statistically 92% of people had this one dream, or at least one dream in their life, where they felt, they woke up and they remembered all the details, and it was like very personal and made them feel a lot of things, negative or positive, regardless of what it is. There is definitely that one dream that you
Yes.
wish, like, oh my God, I wish somebody would explain it to me. And the thing is, sometimes you can't just Google these things. Well, most of the time you can't, because you can't just pick out one thing out of a
Yeah,
whole
and
scenario.
you end up having to do research for just one element in your dream. It's just time consuming. It takes a lot of work.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us today, or tonight. For some of you, it's already evening. We do have a couple of participants from Australia. We have a couple of people
Wow.
from America. So we will be recording the session and we'll send it over to them, so they do have an opportunity to benefit from the questions that everybody else asks. So we can sort of start it off with. Anyone who's joined us today, if you have a particular question you always wanted to ask, you're more than welcome to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask the question. You can put your camera on if you like. If you don't feel comfortable, that's fine as well. Or you can text us, we do have a chat over here. So you can message us and I'll read the question out loud, whichever way you prefer. But go ahead, guys. If you like to do that, you're more than welcome to.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, I'm not gonna turn my camera on.
It's okay.
But nice to see you all. I think I want to talk about like one of my recent dreams, because well, it's very often that I see dreams, but again, as you said, like some of them are just more meaningful than others. And some you remember just so much more vividly than others. And that one dream was quite long and quite strange to me, but I had it before. So basically, it was basically I was pregnant in a dream,
Okay.
but I was like I was not pregnant the whole dream. So it was like from month 0 to month 9, and I was about to give birth. But at the same time, I was in school, or it was some kind of institution. And just before I had to give birth, I was basically communicating with everyone and just trying, like I was solving a lot of things just before I had to do it. And I didn't remember the feeling like, oh, I'm gonna have a baby or something. I was all like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. So I had so many tasks that I have to do before giving birth. And basically, I don't remember what happened after, but I woke up after this and I remembered it so clearly. So it was not the first time of me dreaming about it, but it's quite strange.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I have a pretty good idea what this is about. But before I tell you what I think, I'm going to ask you a question. What is going on in your life?
Currently, I think it's just a lot of work relating to business.
Okay. And this might give away what I'm thinking about. The last time you had a similar dream, what was going on?
I can't remember clearly, but
okay.
I think it was pretty much the same situation, but I was just starting off. So okay. I was just in a different position.
Okay. I had to ask you that because this is why keeping a journal or a dream diary is so useful, because when you go back to look at the dreams, and you usually would write the day, like what day it is and what dream it was, and then when you go back through the notes, you're going to notice that, wait, when did I have this? What was going on? And you can kind of see that every time I go through this, I see certain things in, something particular in the dream. And that's how you also learn to understand yourself. Oh, am I feeling that way again?
Okay.
So this works for every dream. And this is just a tip. This is what I've learned to work on myself, because if it's a good thing, then everything's great, right? But if there's something for you to learn, then this is how you grow. You notice that, oh, actually, the last time this happened, the last time I saw this dream, I was going through this, I was feeling that. What am I experiencing this time, and how do I get out of it? So this is also how you can use dreams for your spiritual growth. Right, enough with the little rants, and here's the juicy bits. School. What does school mean? School is a place for you to learn, right? And I see a lot of school dreams myself, and I've come to realize that for us as souls learning to grow in this dimension, the school is life itself. School is Earth, where we are right now. So you being in school, it talks about the things that you have to learn in this life. And probably at the moment, there are things that you have to do. Pregnancy, okay? Pregnancy is about, well, like you said, you were about to give birth. It's about giving birth. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are giving birth to another human being, to another person. It can be a birth of a project, birth of an idea. It could be something that you have to prepare, you have to work on before you can put it out into the world. So it makes sense that you have a lot to do before you give birth. You see it now?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, that's why it's like, oh, there's so many tasks I have to do. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, because you have to be prepared. You have to be ready before you put it out into the world, whatever it is. So
yeah,
from this I understand that you're working on a big project, and you have quite a few things to do before you can finalize it and like I said, put it out into the world. Am I right?
Yes, for sure.
Wow. So
thank you so much for sharing.
Sense? Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. This is
thank you. I hope I'm not the only one who maybe had the similar dream, so maybe someone else had it.
Like I said, I've had plenty of school dreams, classroom dreams, exam dreams, handing homework. It's constant, like, oh my God, what do I have to do again? I mean, my life lesson and stuff. So I'm pretty familiar with the school thing in the dreams. And pregnancy, I have had it a couple of times, I think. But it was weird.
It's funny really though weird. How it works, doesn't it? Like pregnancy doesn't necessarily mean pregnancy in real life. It means, pregnancy, as you said, birth of a project, or, you've been on a little mission, or you're trying to do something with your life, and this is like shaping it, and you carry it in your body. Very interesting.
It is. And mine was super weird because I became conscious, it became lucid. And so I was like, wait a second, I'm not really pregnant, guys. This is just not real. I was like, no. Yeah, so.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, there you go. So thank you so much for sharing. This was really, really interesting.
Thank you for explaining. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nina. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for the explanation, Keadar. It's really great to see that sometimes, those things that normally you would think of them very literally, in a dream you have to, you know, find a way to explain it. And this is the thing, sometimes there are these, you know, big things that we're working on in our real time, and then our subconscious mind is kind of helping us, you know, work through that. So we're resting, but at the same time the mind keeps going and taking over and working on those things, and that's why there are so many tasks and so many things around. So yeah, it's a great example.
Yeah, I actually see the sleep and meditation as, I don't know if you do this, but you have to like defrag the computer, reboot, restart, you know, all this maintenance happens when we're resting, like in a deep sleep state or deep meditation. This is what's going on, and sometimes these things come up through the symbols, so that the mind is also telling us that, okay, we're working on this is going on, we have to organize this, so that when we wake up, you know, we on the subconscious level kind of know where we are and what we need to do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that. We can move on to the next question or questions. So if anybody would like to ask anything, please feel free to unmute yourself. I do have a couple of questions ready, but I want to give everyone a chance to speak first. No one for now. Okay,
don't worry if you have weird dreams. I'm pretty sure that the level of weirdness that I've had would be the same, if not worse.
But this is the thing, I think every single one of us had a really weird dream at least once, if not a couple of times. But I can ask a question that came through that will be asked anonymously, but I did go back and forth with that person to try to get as much detail as possible. Okay. So it's a situation where the person keeps having the same kind of scenario, the same dream, recurring dream about them walking into the bathroom. So basically like a public toilet. And the toilet that they're about to use or they walk past is not necessarily very clean. And it's quite messy around it, and the environment around it is not very pleasant. I sort of got the details from them whether it was in their house. They said no, normally it's a public bathroom. And it's been going on for about a year in that person's life, and they keep having the same kind of dream. And the last one that they had was, again, a public bathroom, but for some reason they were using a shower, and the water was clean, but was sort of going into the toilet itself while they were taking a shower. So it's kind of like those two elements. Let me just check my notes to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Okay.
Yeah, so the shower itself was clean. The shower water was clean. But yeah, that's what I have in regards to that.
Right. Well, this is something I've seen quite a lot in my dreams too. I know. No, I see all sorts of dreams. So I'm not gonna be surprised at most of the dreams question, you know. First, the recurring dreams. So when you see something over and over again, especially in this case that you keep seeing it for a year, okay, let me start again. Sometimes you can have the same dream twice, like with Nina's case, you know, you're birthing a new project, so you have that pregnancy dream, and then you might have had this before with a different project. That happens. But if you have the exact same dream, or like, you know, pretty much the same dream, and it happens often during a period of time, or maybe not that often, but it occurs like regularly throughout a certain period of time, then we could call this recurring dreams. And what it means is your subconscious mind or the universe is trying to tell you that, look, you need to do this. If your subconscious mind thinks, it's funny, right? It's our mind, but the mind thinks on its own. It's like if it thinks or feels that we haven't received the message, we haven't understood the message, and we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, then the message is going to keep coming back to us again and again and again until we get it. Some people say that you can actually negotiate with yourself, like go into the meditative state and say to your subconscious mind that, yeah, I got your message. You don't have to show me this again, but, you know, and I will do it in my own time. It can work. But here's the thing, if your subconscious mind and the universe or whoever is trying to send you the message thinks that, you know, we don't care what you think, but we want you to do this, so we're going to keep sending the message, it will still come through, because this is about you and your personal space, about your emotional, your energetic body trying to tell you what is going on. So that you can move forward, so you can fix something. And there is something to be fixed, usually, with the recurring dreams.
Sorry, Keadar, one thing that I forgot to mention is that I don't think I fully sort of described it, and now I looked in my notes. But since I like the toilet, sometimes it's like particularly messy with things that, you know, I'm not gonna mention, but they even like, you know what I mean? They even stepping into that. With their one foot can get caught in it, sometimes both, you know what I mean? So
Yep. Here's the symbol about the toilet or bathroom in general. This is where you clean up. This is where you release stuff. So if for some reason you cannot do it, you know, whether the bathroom is super dirty and you don't feel comfortable doing it, it means that you can't release it. Can you? So things are going to come up to prevent you from doing it. It can be the dirtiness. It can be that there are other people. I've actually had one that the door was open and people were walking by and I just couldn't do it. So there will be things that happen that will prevent you from doing it. It means that there are other factors that prevent you from feeling liberated enough to release the stuff that you don't need anymore, to release the emotions. Usually it's about releasing emotions, the things that you've kept inside for a long time. It's usually about letting go of certain feelings. And it feels like this person is keeping everything inside, doesn't want to show the world, doesn't want to show anyone, wants to be strong, and shows, you know, the world that everything is okay, even though inside it's not okay. But they can't really let the true feeling come out for some reason. But the fact that this person keeps going to the toilet, I mean, there is a need to release.
I see.
There is a strong need to release it, you know, even when it's like dirty and all that, but even try to push themselves to release, but it's just too overwhelming. The situation is just too much, you know, so he or she doesn't feel comfortable in doing that, or there's something that needs to be worked on and cleaned up before they feel comfortable enough to let go. And the public shower, this is a good sign though, that there is water and the water is clean, because it means that the person really wants to just wash away everything and let go. So the person is coming to the point where they feel like they understand that they need to let go. So the question I would ask this person would be, what are you keeping inside? what is going on? How are you feeling really? And the healing starts with acknowledging, no matter how bad you think it sounds, no matter how you feel about it, you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this way. Well, no one should. But this is the reality. This is how you are feeling. Admit it to yourself. Even if you feel like you can't tell anyone, I don't know, it's embarrassing, it's just, it's too bad. It's so bad. I don't want to be associated with this. This is not me. Or, I don't want people to think badly of me, and on and on. So you don't want to share. At least admit it to yourself that this is how I'm feeling. This is what's going on in my mind, in my feelings. And if you feel like crying, just let go, just cry.
Would you say that would be like sort of the first step, like, the first kind of self-help therapy that you can do? This is a thing, because I think for a lot of people, they keep hearing this advice, and because what you are suggesting is very, I'm actually very happy to hear it, because you're actually telling people, this is step by step what you do with it. Ask yourself, what exactly is the problem that's really bothering me? Like, sit with yourself, really ask yourself, have that dialogue, and then let go if you need to, cry or release those emotions. Because a lot of the times we see this on, it's all over social media, work on your problems. But how do you do that?
Exactly. It's like, where do I start?
Yeah, where is that point of, we all have our problems or issues, but how do you do that? And nobody gives you the how. They all have this wonderful advice, let go. How do you let go? How do you cleanse yourself?
Yeah, so you start with acknowledging, because often this happens a lot. Like, oftentimes what your subconscious mind needs you to do is to actually see what's really going on, and acknowledging it, like accepting it, that, okay, this is really how I'm feeling, is the way to tell yourself that, okay, I see it now.
Yeah.
This
is so good. Thank you so much, Keadar. I think this is really helpful, and they will get this in the recording. So I'm really hoping that for this person that asked the question, you now have the actual tools and the steps to take to at least start the process. And nobody says it will be fixed overnight, but then again, this will start, and get the wheels turning, basically.
Yeah, and if you have someone you can trust, talk to them. If you have a healer or a therapist you go to, talk to them. If you are a healer yourself, then you probably know what you need to do, after you realize what the problem is. And there's so many things you could do. I remember, okay, once I had a dream. It wasn't a toilet, but it was a storm, like a huge storm coming. Everyone was going to drown. It was horrible. And then I realized that I was being overwhelmed with feelings, a storm of feelings, like the water, the feelings. And I was really overwhelmed. Like, I was being attacked from every direction with the tsunami. It was a tsunami coming. And when I realized that I was actually overwhelmed, I tried to take it easy. I tried to give myself healing. I meditated more, and I even took some flowers. I was like, okay, I had a list of what to do to help myself. Like, okay, today is a day I'm going to work on my emotions. And another thing you could do when you have this toilet or overwhelming emotions is there a person in your life that you need to talk to? Like, is there something left unsaid, and you feel like, you can't communicate with them, and you keep everything inside, and they don't know what you feel, they don't know how you feel, and you feel unwell keeping everything inside, even though you mean well. Maybe you don't want to hurt them, maybe you don't know how to talk to them, and then you keep these things inside and you can't release. So sometimes when it involves another person or many people, it's good to have a conversation with them.
Good. No, thank you so much, Keadar. That definitely helps. And, you know, you said if you have a therapist, a healer, somebody you go to, for those of you that are new to Spirit Mountain Academy and maybe you don't know, Keadar is a fantastic healer. She really is. And you honestly, you really are. And for some reason, I have this like very strong connection to everything you do and the healings and the rituals that we've done together. And you know, you're one of those people I turn to first, you know, whenever I have a problem or an issue. So no, I definitely, honestly, I highly recommend it. And you know, we have a few people that some of them are in the audience, some are not, but they have experienced your healing as well, and they can definitely you know, confirm that it works, because it makes you feel so much better and you really relate to people on that different level. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I love doing this. Yes.